Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So, picture this. It's 2002. You walk into a gas station and sitting there on the shelf is this massive black can with these aggressive green claw marks slashed across it. You've never seen anything like it. It looks dangerous, it looks exciting, and most importantly, it's huge compared to everything else. That was Monster Energy's entrance into the world, and honestly, it changed everything. Today, we're diving deep into how a small California beverage company turned an energy drink into a multi-billion-dollar lifestyle brand that sponsors everything from UFC fighters to gaming tournaments to death-defying stunts you wouldn't believe. And stick around because at the end, I'm going to share something pretty mind-blowing about where Monster is headed next that most people have no idea about. But real quick, if you love stories about brands that disrupted entire industries, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button right now. We dive into fascinating business stories like this every week, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Plus, it literally takes 1 second and helps us out massively. Alright, let's crack open this story. So let's go back to the beginning, because Monster's origin is actually kind of wild. The company behind Monster was originally called Hansen Natural Company, founded way back in the 1930s in Southern California. For decades, they were just this small operation making natural sodas, juices, nothing particularly exciting. Fast forward to the late 90s, early 2000s, Red Bull had just exploded onto the American scene. They'd basically created the energy drink category out of thin air, and they were printing money. Every beverage company was scrambling to get in on the action. Hansen's was watching all this happen, and they had a realization. Red Bull's can was tiny, just 8.4 ounces, and it was expensive. People were buying 2 or 3 at a time just to get the boost they wanted. So Hansen's asked a simple but brilliant question. What if we just gave them more? In April 2002, Monster Energy launched. 16 ounces, double the size of Red Bull, roughly the same price point. The value proposition was instant and obvious, but here's where it gets really interesting. The team behind Monster knew that size alone wasn't going to cut it. The energy drink market was getting crowded fast. They needed something that would make them stand out on a fundamental level. Enter Rodney Sachs and Hilton Schlossberg, the executives who would transform Hansen's into Monster Beverage Corporation. These guys understood something crucial. In the beverage industry, brand is everything. Let's talk about that logo for a second, because it's absolutely genius. Those green claw marks, technically called the Monster M, but let's be honest, everyone sees claws, became one of the most recognizable logos on the planet. It's simple, it's aggressive, it's instantly memorable. But more than that, it told you exactly what the brand was about without using a single word. Energy, power, something wild and untamed. It wasn't trying to be sophisticated like some coffee brand. It wasn't trying to be medical or scientific. It was raw attitude in a can. The black background was deliberate too. While competitors were using bright colors and busy designs, Monster went dark. It stood out on shelves. It looked premium. It looked dangerous. But here's where Monster really separated themselves from everyone else. Their marketing strategy. Most beverage companies spend millions on TV commercials, celebrity endorsements, traditional advertising. Monster said, "Nah, we're going to do something completely different." They pioneered what's called lifestyle marketing, on a level nobody had seen before in the beverage industry. Instead of advertising to their target audience, they embedded themselves into their target audience's lifestyle. Extreme sports? Monster became the biggest sponsor in action sports. Motocross, BMX, skateboarding, surfing. If it involved risk and adrenaline, Monster was there. Motorsports? Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, Formula Drift, Supercross, MMA and combat sports. Entire teams of UFC fighters became Monster athletes. Gaming? Monster Gaming became a massive presence in esports. Music? Monster stages at heavy metal concerts, rock festivals, EDM events. They weren't just sponsors, they were part of the culture. And here's the beautiful thing, their consumers became their marketers. Every time someone posted a video of an insane trick, a race, a concert, a gaming session with a monster can visible, that was authentic, organic marketing that you literally can't buy. The brand became aspirational. Drinking Monster meant you were part of that world even if you were just watching from your couch. Now, Monster didn't just rely on branding and marketing. They absolutely dominated on the product side too. The original Monster Energy had 160 milligrams of caffeine per can, about the same as 2 strong cups of coffee. The energy blend included all the expected ingredients: taurine, ginseng, L-carnitine, guarana, B vitamins. Nothing revolutionary there. But what Monster did better than anyone else was diversification. They looked at the market and realized different consumers wanted different things. So they built an entire ecosystem of products. Monster Ultra. This was huge. 0 sugar, 0 calories, but still packed with energy. And they didn't just make one flavor, they went crazy with it. Ultra White, Ultra Blue, Ultra Red, Ultra Paradise, Ultra Watermelon, Ultra Gold, Ultra Rosa. Seriously, walk down any energy drink aisle and the Ultra line dominates. This captured everyone who wanted energy without the sugar and calories. Monster Rehab, energy drink meets tea and lemonade. Marketed as a recovery drink with added electrolytes. Perfect for after workouts or, let's be real, rough mornings. Monster Java, for coffee lovers, combines espresso with Monster's energy blend. Multiple flavors like Loca Mocha, Kona Blend, Salted Caramel. Juice Monster. Energy meets fruit juice. Trying to make energy drinks feel slightly healthier. Monster Reserve. A premium line with more sophisticated flavors aimed at an older demographic. And they keep launching new products constantly. The innovation never stops. This strategy was brilliant because it meant Monster had something for everyone. You're health conscious? Ultraline? You're a coffee person? Java? You want something that tastes like juice? They've got you covered. They essentially took over entire sections of convenience stores and supermarkets. More shelf space equals more sales. Simple as that. Of course, massive success comes with challenges. On the competition front, Red Bull is still Monster's biggest rival. Red Bull actually outsells Monster globally, but in the United States, Monster has the edge. The two companies have been in fierce competition for over 2 decades now. Then you've got Rockstar, which Monster actually acquired in 2020 for $3.85 billion. That was a power move, taking out a major competitor and absorbing their market share. Bang Energy came in hot a few years ago with aggressive marketing and higher caffeine content, but they've faced their own controversies and legal battles. Speaking of controversies, Monster hasn't been without them. Health concerns have followed energy drinks since day one. High caffeine content, potential heart issues, mixing with alcohol. Monster has faced lawsuits and negative press over the years. Some tragic incidents involving young people consuming multiple energy drinks led to serious scrutiny. Monster has consistently defended their products, pointing out that their caffeine content is clearly labeled and comparable to coffee. They've also implemented age restrictions in some markets and warning labels. There was also that whole weird thing where some people claimed the Monster logo represented 666 and was satanic. Seriously, that conspiracy theory got way more traction than it should have. Monster never officially responded because, honestly, engaging with it would have just given it more oxygen. But here's the thing. Controversies aside, Monster kept growing. They navigated these challenges, adapted where necessary, and kept pushing forward. Let's talk numbers for a second because they're insane. Monster Beverage Corporation is now worth over $50 billion for an energy drink company. That's absolutely wild. They sell products in over 140 countries worldwide. Their annual revenue is approaching $7 billion in 2014. Coca-Cola made a strategic investment in Monster, taking about a 17% stake in the company. This gave Monster access to Coke's massive distribution network globally, while allowing Coke to tap into the exploding energy drink markets. This partnership was genius for both sides. Monster got distribution capabilities they never could have built on their own. Coke got a foothold in a category where they'd been struggling, but Monster maintained their brand identity and independence, which was crucial. They didn't become just another Coca-Cola product. They stayed Monster. The company also diversified beyond just Monster-branded products. They own or distribute brands like NOS Energy, Full Throttle, Burn, Predator, and now Rockstar. Their sponsorship portfolio is equally impressive. We are talking about deals worth hundreds of millions of dollars with properties like NASCAR, UFC, the NBA, Olympic athletes, professional gamers. The list goes on. They've built entire teams and athletes around the brand. The Monster Energy AMA Supercross team, Monster Energy NASCAR team, dozens of individual athletes across every major action sport. This isn't just marketing expense, it's brand building on a massive scale. Every time you see a Monster logo on a helmet, a car, a jersey, or a gaming setup, that's reinforcing the brand identity. Here's what's really fascinating about Monster. They've transcended being just a beverage. They've become a cultural symbol. Walk into any high school, college campus, warehouse, construction site, gaming lounge, or gym, and you'll see Monster cans everywhere. They've become part of the identity for certain demographics. There's literally Monster memes. People joke about Monster Energy Kyle, that stereotype of a young guy who drinks Monster, wears Fox racing gear, and loves motocross. Monster has become so culturally embedded that it exists as a stereotype. Their influence on action sports can't be overstated. They've funded athletes, events, and entire careers. Many professional riders and athletes wouldn't have had the opportunities they did without Monster's sponsorship money flowing into these sports. So where does Monster go from here? The energy drink market is still growing globally, especially in emerging markets in Asia, Africa, and South America. Monster is positioning aggressively in these regions. They're also expanding into adjacent categories, energy drinks for specific purposes like focus, relaxation, hydration. The functional beverage market is exploding, and Monster is experimenting. There's also a huge push into sustainability. Aluminum cans are infinitely recyclable, which gives them an advantage over plastic bottles, and Monster is working on reducing their carbon footprint across their supply chain. And perhaps most interestingly, they're going deeper into digital and gaming. As esports continues to explode globally, Monster is positioning themselves as the energy drink for gamers. So there you have it, the story of Monster Energy, from a small California beverage company to a multi-billion-dollar empire that changed how we think about energy drinks and lifestyle branding. They prove that with the right brand identity, smart marketing, product innovation, and cultural relevance, you can take a commodity product and turn it into something iconic. If you found this deep dive fascinating, you absolutely need to subscribe to the channel. We're breaking down stories like this every single week. Iconic brands, billion-dollar companies, the strategies that made them successful. Click that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and you'll never miss an episode. Also, drop a comment below. What brand should we cover next? What's a company you've always wondered about? Let me know. And if you want to go even deeper, check out the video popping up on your screen right now where we break down Red Bull's insane marketing strategy. It's the perfect companion to this one. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.